You've got your pre-approval, but do you actually know how much cash you need to close? Most buyers only plan for the down payment, but that's just one of four things that lenders are looking for. Hey, good afternoon and welcome to the channel. My name is Jay York, loan officer with the Closing Table Collective at CMG Home Loans. First off, I want to thank you for stopping by the channel. I really appreciate it. And today we're going to break down how much you really need to close on a home in 2025. So I talk with buyers a lot, and everybody always accounts for the down payment. Everybody knows about the down payment, but that's not the only thing that you have to account for when it comes to purchasing a home. There are four major asset buckets that we as lenders look for when it comes to purchasing a home, and as a buyer, you need to account for all of those. So what we're going to do today, we're going to break down those four asset buckets and how to plan for them. So you're thinking about buying a home, or maybe you've already been pre-approved, but you keep hearing different numbers thrown around. Some people say you need 20%, others say you need 3%, and nobody's really telling you the full picture. Let me break it down the right way. There are actually four separate buckets of money that you need to be prepared for when buying a home. And if you plan for these up front, you'll avoid the surprises that usually stop a lot of deals from closing. So here's what you actually need to save and why each part matters. So the first part, of course, is going to be your down payment. That down payment is going to vary based on what type of loan product that you're using. For instance, if you are buying your home with an FHA loan, your down payment is going to be 3.5% of your purchase price. If you are a first-time home buyer, meaning that you have not owned a property in the last 3 years and you are using a conventional loan, then you have to put 3% down. If you're not a first-time home buyer and using a conventional loan, then you have to put 5% down. If you are purchasing your home with a jumbo loan, which means that your purchase price is over, or excuse me, your loan amount is over your county limit, which in Mecklenburg County is $826,000. Then it's going to vary, but here at CMG, jumbo loans require 10% down. So as you can see, your down payment is going to vary based on the loan amount, but that's what you need to be prepared for. And to be honest, that's what most buyers only prepare for, is the down payment when they're saving and allocating funds. But the next bucket that you need to be prepared for is going to be your closing costs. Now, closing costs are going to vary depending on product again and depending on what you're using, but general rule of thumb, prepare for 2 to 4% of your purchase price to be allocated into your closing costs. And closing costs are going to include things like your lender fees. They're going to include your title and attorney fees as well. They're also going to include taxes, and they're going to include setting up your escrow account if you're not putting 20% down. The third thing that you need to look for is your upfront transaction costs. Now, this one is very important as well because there are a couple different misconceptions about your upfront transaction costs. One, if you are using any type of down payment assistance program, a lot of people think that the down payment assistance program is going to cover the upfront transaction costs, which it doesn't. Those upfront transaction costs that we're talking about are going to be your appraisal deposit, which is going to vary anywhere from about $550 to, I would say, $625, depending on what type of property that you're purchasing. You're also going to have your inspection, which the inspection is going to range anywhere from about $200 to $400. Once again, depending on what type of home you're purchasing and what type of loan it is, because some loans require additional inspections, or some type of property types require different inspections or additional inspections. Like, for instance, if you have a septic tank or if you have a well, then you're going to require a water test or a septic tank inspection. So you have to account for those things when you're looking at the different type of homes that you're looking to purchase. Also, in your upfront transaction costs, you're going to have your due diligence fee or earnest money deposit, depending on where you're purchasing at. Generally, rule of thumb, that's going to be about 1% of your purchase price, but that's going to vary based off of what you choose to offer and when you and your real estate agent are talking about putting your offer together. So already right there, we've gone over 3 different buckets that you have to account for. Like I said, 1 is going to be down payment. 2 is going to be your closing costs. We're talking about 2 to 4% of your purchase price. And then your upfront transaction costs, which, like I said, appraisal anywhere from $550 to $650 if we're just rounding it out. Your inspection, $200 to $400, and then whatever you put down for your earnest money, deposit, or due diligence fee. Good thing about the upfront transaction costs, your deposits and your appraisal will be credited towards your closing costs at closing. So think of these as closing costs that you're paying upfront at the beginning of the transaction instead of at the closing table. And then the 4th bucket, which perhaps is the most important bucket when you're looking at actual loan approval, is going to be reserves. Now, some products don't require reserves within their guidelines, but lenders do typically like to see at least 1 to 2 months in reserves in your account. Now, that doesn't have to be liquid in a checking or savings account. It can be in a retirement account. It can be in an investment account. It can be in a CD. It just has to be accessible. It can even be a cash value life insurance policy. But we need to see that you have those emergency funds available and that you're not draining your entire savings just to purchase the home. And then if something was to happen, like if you were to lose a job, or there are unexpected expenses that come, which unexpected expenses are always going to come when it comes to home ownership, that you don't have any funds. So that's definitely important to keep in mind as well, that we do need to see reserves. Now, if you're looking at purchasing with a jumbo loan or a high balance loan, or even sometimes some of the what we call non-QM products, which are some of like the more creative products, sometimes sometimes reserves will be required for those. So that's definitely a conversation that you'll have with your loan officer when you are going over your pre-approval to make sure that these things are accounted for. So just to quickly recap, like I said, we are looking at your down payment, your closing costs, your upfront transaction costs, as well as reserves. So these 4 items are things that me and my buyers do prepare for during our home buyer consultation to make sure that you are prepared and you know what you're getting into when you go into the transaction. So if you are looking to purchase, or if you've already been pre-approved and you have not had conversations about these 4 buckets, you definitely want to go back and have a conversation with your mortgage professional to make sure that you have an idea of what you are getting yourself into. Also, you want to look at your loan estimate, which that's a video that we'll definitely do later on, breaking down the loan estimate to go over your closing costs and just make sure that you're properly educated. So now you know it's not just about the down payment. Buying a home definitely comes with a few layers, but when you plan for all 4, you definitely walk in to that closing table with confidence instead of surprises. If you want help breaking down your specific numbers, or just want to make sure that you're on track, shoot me a DM with the word cost, and I'll send you my free buyer cash breakdown worksheet. It'll walk you through everything step by step. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, or follow if this helped. You've got the keys. Let's close the gap.